Scrappers, Tom from the iScrap app. Today's Wednesday, May 30th, 2018. We hope that those of you that are in the U.S. had a very happy and healthy and safe Memorial Day weekend. We hope that you took a couple of minutes to remember all of the men and women who have lost their lives in defense of the U.S., making sure that they were serving the country so you and I can live our lives a little more free. And, that's not just the recent ones those are all the ones that happened back in the World Wars and all the way back to, the 1770s when this country came into existence. So, it's a little things in life. I tell people very often, a lot of the problems that we have nowadays, whether it's poor cell phone reception, maybe a lower price on scrap, these are such first world problems, but they're only due to these men and women that have taken care of us throughout the years. So to those of you who have lost a family member, our hearts go out to you, and we thank everyone that's out there that's currently serving, has served, or will be serving. We thank everyone, so we hope you had a very happy Memorial Day weekend. We know that with the summer here, a lot of people are going to ask a bunch of questions about the copper prices paired with oil prices, but just a couple of things we want to go over. So we just want to give you a quick recap on where some of the markets have been and where some of the prices are, just so you have a really good idea. In the last week, we've seen Bear Bright prices reported anywhere from $2.22 up to $2.77 per pound. We've seen number one tubing $2.11 to about $2.56 a pound. We've seen number two about 10 cents below that. Brass market has weakened like we've talked about over the last month. We've seen those prices for brass anywhere from $1.37 up to about $1.72 a pound for yellow brass. Aluminum siding prices have averaged in the mid to high 40s. Aluminum cans around 44 cents a pound has been the average overall. The light iron market has improved a bit with a little bit of a wider range depending on where you are in the country. We've seen light iron prices reported as low as $95 and as high as $152 per ton. Heavier grades like unprepared steel, we've seen those prices anywhere from $127 per ton all the way up to $222 per ton. So we've seen some very strong prices coming in the last week or so. We hope to report on these, hopefully having a 1 or 2% increase next week. While some of you may say, why such a small increase? That really isn't when you're looking at some of these numbers. 1% increase or a 2% increase for the steel market is about $5 to $7 per ton, or $3 to $7 per ton. In the copper, aluminum, brass, insulator wire markets, that's 3 to 5 cents per pound. So hopefully we just see these trends continue to grow and push forward. So don't forget, while we're doing these live videos, we like to do them every Wednesday afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Ask as many questions as you can. Hopefully we'll get to the questions while we're talking during these. If not, ask these questions. We'll make sure to link to some blogs, some upcoming news stories that we may have read about, or anything else that can help you learn more about scrap. Don't forget, for many of you that have already joined our scrap metal group through Facebook, you can join that. We are monitoring it this way. Not anyone can just go on there and advertise. We've actually removed dozens of people who have tried to advertise their services, different scrapyard owners who have tried to push people to their yards. What our group is about scrappers talking scrap to other scrappers. This way you can learn things that people are doing, watch how people are doing them, ask questions amongst each other. This is not going to be a group that's going to be taken over by ads or traders or people that aren't supposed to be there. We monitor and accept every single individual that gets in there, so let your friends know if they don't know already about the group, and hopefully it can help you make some money going forward, because that's what this is all about, learning and making more money. Last week, the copper prices relatively stable. We've seen them drop about 3 or 4 cents a pound overall. Market's been down slightly in the last day. We saw them down 3 cents earlier today. That market's climbed back. After seeing a large erosion in the stock market yesterday, we're not super surprised to have a little bit of a pullback today while the stock market is up. We've seen a bunch of up and down, back and forth dialogue between the commodities prices and the trading prices recently, so we just have to really stay tuned and see what happens there. Unfortunately for many of you, I'm not wearing my red shirt today. It was a conscious effort. I think that would have been the 4th week in a row. I made sure to prove that I own more than one shirt. This way, many of you who have joked around saying Tom's wearing his Wednesday shirt, I want you to know that I do own more than one shirt. very lucky for that. But the copper prices still have been strong. One of the biggest, if not the biggest factor that we're watching are the continued talks between the U.S. and China. This is going to be the thing that is going to control the scrap prices going into the summer and into the rest of the year. It's going to be one of the larger stories of the year. We don't want you to think that we haven't been looking at it. We've been watching it. We just haven't had any updated information. So there's no reason to share news that we haven't gotten yet. But when it happens, which we're hoping to have happen by the middle of June, if not sooner, we will see an immediate impact in the market. Good, bad, or indifferent, we don't know, but at least we'll have answers to different questions that multiple people have been asking. The aluminum side of things has remained very strong, as has the nickel market, meaning your stainless prices and your aluminum prices for siding, aluminum cans, aluminum window extrusions, sheet aluminum, and other grades are going to be very strong. This has been a metal that's been used very heavily in the last few years in the electronic world, and also being introduced to the automotive industry for lighter, more efficient, less gas guzzling type of vehicles by using less weight metal-wise, and hopefully making new grades of aluminum that have a very comparable strength, or the way that they angle the metal has a comparable strength to the traditional steel car frames that we've seen. So again, the aluminum prices have been very strong. Another market is steel. We've seen light iron prices jump about $4 or $5 per ton, although we've seen the heavier grades of steel drop $3 to $5 per ton. Why that's happening, we're still not sure. We've seen iron ore prices weaken towards the beginning of this week, but we've continued to watch them and see what's going on. Again, a lot hinges on the talks between the U.S. and China, which we're continuing to monitor and closely read articles on that give us a little more insight on where the market may be going. Overall, the electronics industry still relatively weak. Price-wise, we've seen gold dip and stay right around $1,300 per ounce. Those prices have fallen slightly, about $30 to $40 per ton from about a month ago. But with the oil prices up and so many people investing in the stock market, that's generally going to bring some of these gold prices down, which is exactly what we've seen. Overall, we're very happy with the market. We seem to be talking to many scrappers, and they seem to be sharing receipts of different materials that they've sold through our page, that they've emailed to us. And we've been talking to people, and it seems like a lot of people are really getting a good feel on where the market is, where the market's going to go, and hopefully that strong feeling will continue, especially hopefully 2-3 weeks from now, if not sooner. We'll be able to give you a really great piece of news out of the U.S. and the Chinese negotiations on the scrap market. One thing that we have talked about in the last few weeks was the cardboard and the paper market. That has taken such an incredible toll because of the talks with the Chinese saying to the world, we will not be a place that you send your garbage to any longer. If you want to send us good, recyclable, clean, sorted material, we're open to that, but until that happens, we're going to stop taking it from you altogether. So that's caused a very large damper in the cardboard and recycling industry, which will unfortunately get kicked back to towns, meaning that taxes could go up and we're going to have further problems down the road. This is a domino effect. One thing happens, sometimes it takes a little while for it to fall over, but we're on the teeter-tottering right now to see what's going to happen to those dominoes going forward. Guys, this is Tom from the iScrap app. Today is Wednesday, May 30th, 2018. Please let us know any questions you have about scrap. Let us know how we can help, where we can help guide you in the different markets, and how to prepare and sort your materials. We will continue to do our best to help you make more money with your scrap. Until next week, continue to post your prices online. Stay tuned for our new website coming out in the upcoming 2 weeks. We're finally there. We've been delaying it, but that's because we've been perfecting it. You'll be able to post prices online, view prices online, learn more pieces of information about the scrap metal industry. Until next week, scrappers, I'll scrap you later.